Hi everyone, this is Davo here from Davos PT Tools and Tips. And before we go any further, can I recommend next time you're down at the supermarket, consider getting yourself a spare pair of sunglasses. You will not be disappointed. Now welcome to part 7 of Spree PT. This is the final part of Spree, and in this section we're going to be exploring the idea of transfer, taking a skill that you've learned to a level where we place it in multiple contexts. This enables deeper learning and it opens your client up to become a much more versatile mover who can problem solve across multiple platforms. And that, as a PT, opens your client up to a whole range of exciting new activities. When you're dealing with a new word, you first learn how to recognize it and sound it out. From there you learn its meaning, and then you give it context by using it in a sentence. And finally, you use it in lots of different sentences, so it has a broader context. It's similar with exercise. As a personal trainer, when you see things in assessment, you make a decision on what to do next. We prime the relevant synergies and the relevant movement pathways through facilitation techniques at very low levels of fatigue. From there, we give that meaning, and we do that with increasing range and the introduction of resistances, again on low-level fatiguing exercises. To enhance it, we put it into a broader context, and we do this with increased range, increased resistance, fatiguing repetitions at times, and a metabolic platform that matches the client's needs. And then finally, we expand it. And when you expand it, you're introducing more complex movement. You're using different metabolic platforms from what the client would normally work at, so the client becomes a good adapter, a more versatile mover, and experiences the ability to transfer the skill. This exercise is called ball reverse V's. And the V shape comes from stepping forward. That's the point of the V, and then the arms going to the left and to the right. Now as you work through, there's a timing thing here, and the timing goes step 1, 2, step 1, 2, step 1, 2, step 1, 2. And that's what you go through with your client. As they load up, your client's trying to swing the ball quickly away and explode back to that front of the V position. This loads a posterior oblique sling and has your client dealing with elasticity on an instantaneous single leg balance control platform. Now this exercise is called a lateral jump and hold. On this one we're using a box as the center point, where the client quickly scoots across the box to then get to the other side to a single leg balance on the outside or the lateral leg. On each of these repetitions, there's a stop point before a jump point comes in, a hop point on that balance leg. So lateral control is very heavily emphasized as they work through this. The other thing you'll notice in this is the ball is bouncing in the air. And what that does is that puts an impulse wave down through the system, where the system now has to work with the rebound elasticity coming off that gravity load. And this allows us to problem solve single leg balance as a static base to provide for an explosive dynamic movement to follow. This is one of those exercises that's a lot more challenging than it looks. These are band rotating pulls, and you can see as we work our way down the clips, we're going from low to high in the first, horizontally in the second, and from high to low in the third. And this means that the single leg balance control, even though the movement's similar, is in fact quite different because of the direction in each of them. There's a more upright stance in the first, there's a lower final stance in the third. Now you'll see in each of these, the subject starts by facing slightly towards the PT. Two hands pull at the start, but it's releasing to a single hand by the end. And in all of these, there's a very slight airborne phase. And from airborne, as we're turning to face directly away from the personal trainer, you're landing on a single leg. So it's working at dynamic control to control a rotational force, coming onto a single leg to re-establish full balance in single leg position. And this allows us to mix up strike patterns, hit patterns, throw patterns, and asymmetrical patterns in a very, very straightforward loaded movement that you as a PT can monitor very effectively from where you stand. So by working through the SPRI acronym, we found a really useful tool that we can use as personal trainers to develop skill in our clients. We're able to see it, prime it, refine it, enhance it, and expand it. Seeing something is an assessment, and it allows us to recognize patterns. Priming things looking at the synergies, checking out the movement sequences that underlie a skill, just like being able to sound out a word. When we looked at refining it, we gave those synergies context, we gave it meaning. So we're able to take the nervous system a step higher, just like giving a word a meaning. Once we looked at enhancing it, we're able to take the skill and put it into strength paradigms, into power paradigms, into agility paradigms. So we put it where it needed to go. We put it in its best place, in context in the program, around our clients' needs, their goals, and our progressions to take them to where they need to go in the long run. Then finally, we expanded it, like using a word in lots of sentences and contexts. This, in terms of skill, allows our clients to have transfer. So they're able to take the skill and use it across multiple platforms. They can use it in the gym, they can use it outside, they can use it at work. They can problem solve more effectively, and this allows your clients to be better movement problem solvers, more versatile, and more resilient. Use SPRI. Use those 5 letters when you're making decisions, and you'll find that you've got something solid that you can work back on whenever you've got a client that you need to take further. Go get it.